Yeah, sure. Take your time.
Yes, it started, I guess. It has started, I guess.
Yes, it
So
has
Deepa,
started.
so Deepa, if I may ask one question, like, can you give me a small introduction about yourself and why you are in this field, why you want to improve your English and your communication skills? What made you take this step?
Yes. Like, um, I had joined Clapingo. A few days back, I had joined Clapingo, and that time I started to take lots of sessions on Clapingo. And before Clapingo, I was like, I want to start my YouTube channel. But I was like, I do not know English properly. If I speak broken English and wrong English, people will criticize me. And there was
Mm,
a like fear of judgment and fear of making mistake. And because of that, I thought that okay, I need to wait. I need to work on my communication skills, and that is how I work a lot on my communication skills. I used to speak in front of mirror. I used to record my voice in mobile recorder. I used to talk with my baba as well.
mm,
And I used to talk with my friends, and that is how I started to improve this language. And I
mm,
was know that okay, like I'm improving gradually, but the thing is that there were no feedbacks, and I was so frustrated of that. Okay, I'm not getting feedback, so I want someone who can correct me. And that time, still like I live in a Maharashtra, I'm Marathi, so people do not speak Hindi as well. So they even do not they are not interested in English language. So again, it was like a language barrier, and they are not interested in it. So it was big challenge for me to learn this language. So I was like, okay, I started to use to watch podcasts, reading books, and listening to songs, English songs. Like I know
mm.
that if you want to learn English, you do not need to listen to English song, because the sentence formation is very different. You will not learn correct English. And I want learners that do not listen to English songs. If you like that song as a hobby and entertainment, you can listen to them. And otherwise, do not listen to those songs. Otherwise, your sentence formation will get will you will mess with your sentence formation. And then that is how I started, and I joined Clapingo. I had lots of sessions there, and Clapingo tutors used to give me lots of feedbacks. I was making same mistake plenty of time, but
Mm.
like why we make plenty of time same mistake? Because of lack of practice. And when you get feedbacks and when you work on your feedbacks, so gradually you start to work on your communication and you start to reduce that mistakes. And I must say that if you're talkative person and if you're speaking English a lot, even if you're making a lot of mistakes, so it become easy for you to get feedbacks. If
Mm.
you are not speaking, you will not get feedback. You will
Absolutely.
speak, yeah. When you speak more, that time you will make lots of mistake, and tutors will give you lots of feedbacks, and that is how you will work on your feedbacks. So that's what I have done in this
All right.
journey. Yes.
Good to hear that. And so I have two questions lined up for you. First one
Yeah.
is, what is like I asked you earlier as well, like what made you want to improve your English? Is there any professional goal, any career related goal, any self goal? And the second one is, when you joined so many sessions on Clappingo, what is that one advice that you remember till now that sticks with you and you think that, yeah, this advice was really genuine, and if I follow this advice, this will going to change me? So these are the two questions.
Yeah, you have asked me two questions at once. I forgot second one, but I remember second one, that why did I have started this journey and what is my goal of learning this language. So to be honest, I think that English is just a language, and just like Marathi, I'm Marathi, so I love my language a lot.
Mm,
So like when I just interact with person who is from different part of our country, I always introduce myself as I'm Marathi. I'm villager, I'm farmer's daughter, because I have that proud that I'm farmer's daughter and I'm Marathi. Like
mm,
I like you always be stick with your roots. If you are not stick with your roots, then where is your identity? So why I started this journey is for that I want to tell people that no matter where you are and where are you from, so you can learn this language. People think that okay, if you are from village, you will not learn this language. If you are farmer, so you do not learn this language. You do not speak this language. But I want I won't make them wrong that no, it is not like that. You can learn English from anywhere. I have also seen that people are highly educated.
Mm.
They are not able to speak English. Why? Because of lack of opportunities. And I have also observed that if you do not get opportunities, so you are the one who can create opportunities for your language, because you are the one who has started that you want to learn this language and you are putting your lots of efforts. So you are the one who want to improve this language, and it is your responsibility to give your best. So create opportunities. And if you are making mistakes, so it's okay, because you know that you are practicing. And more you practice, more you will improve. That was my strategy. Yeah.
Absolutely correct. Correct. I completely agree that learning English in today's age opens up a lot of opportunities for you,
Yes. Yeah.
and you are the one who can open the opportunities for the several people out there who are not able to get those opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So a very good plan in your head. And the
Yeah.
second question that I asked was related to
Yes.
the advice that the tutors gave you on Clapingo. So, what were some of those advices that they gave you, and you thought that if I work on them very seriously, I would become a very good communicator, a very good English speaker myself?
Okay. As right now, I am not remembering that advice, but they have given me lots of advice, and I always remember that advice that okay, I speak fast a lot. I'm
Mm,
trying to speak slowly. Okay, and then what I used to do, like I used to make stories. Like if I see some reels on Instagram, if I have seen shorts on YouTube, if I seen some animated movies, I used to explain each and everything using past tense, simple future tense, and present tense. And that time they told me that it is the best way of learning this language. What I do, I watch animated movies and I mute voice of that video, and
mm,
I just do like voiceover. Like if that person is walking, I just say that okay, there is one guy who is sitting somewhere, and he is walking, and each and everything. And I just observe the body language and the person activity that person is doing, and that is how I do voiceover. In this case, what happened? You do not you do not feel like okay, I do not have any idea what should I speak, and you have that clear picture, so you can describe it. That's it. I know that you are not getting any feedback, but you are practicing your English, and I also know that like if you want to learn something, for that you must unlearn something for that. Because what happened, because of lack of feedbacks and lack of guidance, no one correct us, and because of we speak wrong English, and for that we need someone who can like correct us. And
mm.
if you get someone who can correct you, then that time you feel very uncomfortable to accept that feedbacks as well, because it is very easy to make mistake and just go with that mistakes, but it is very uncomfortable to unlearn that mistakes and learn something right. So I have to
Yeah.
see in that, and if you have like a person who correct you, so it becomes your plus point.
Mhm.
So that is nice. You will suffer for a month, for a week, but then you get to know that no, I am learning right English. And I was like before clapping, I was like okay, like I am learning this language and I know everything. Like I speak English confidently. But when I started to take sessions on clapping on video call, that time I was so nervous. I was not able to speak single word, a single sentence. I was literally just sweating as well. I said, okay, I'm feeling uncomfortable and all. And then, and with practice, my fear goes away. My fear went away.
Absolutely. Even I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, unless and until you speak with your peers, you don't exactly know how good you are. If you're
Yes.
practicing yourself, then you think that you're good in your head. But when you go to the Clapingo sessions, then you
Yeah.
realize you're not that good that you thought you were. When you see
Yes.
teachers who are speaking fluent English, very
Mhm.
high confidence, good
Mhm.
body language, then you realize that
Yes.
even I have a lot of things to learn.
Mhm.
When you watch your own videos, you realize that, oh no, these are some of the mistakes that I have been making. So
Yes. Yes.
To undo those things and doing it once again is the hard part.
Hmm.
And I agree with you. Like sometimes taking feedback is very tough for many people. It's very easy to move on with your mistakes and never work on it. But until and unless you work on it step by step, then it won't go away. You won't become the better
Yes.
person. You won't become the person that you want to be.
Yes. You have
And
asked a lot of question. I want to ask you one question. That
yes,
how do you take criticism? Because you have two channels. Some people are your followers. Some people they do not like your content. Or they keep like telling you that okay, you are not good speaker. So how do you deal with these criticisms and how do you deal with these feedbacks? I must say, yeah. What is the strategy?
well, I've first of all, I've not become big enough that I will face criticism. Because if you have ever noticed, only the famous people or the successful people face criticism. So,
Okay, fine. Okay.
so I have received some mean comments, but I really don't like to respond to it with my whole heart
Okay.
because I believe in the philosophy that let's say there are 100 mangoes in which two are bad and 98 are good. So our human tendency would be to look at the two bad mangoes, right? But you're not focusing on the 98 good mangoes that you have that are for you. So I try to focus on the good comments that I get. And even if there are, I try to look at all criticism, but if I find something constructive in that, then I try to implement it myself and just move on with life. Just
Yeah.
don't take it very personally.
Hmm. I want to know that like how much do you practice your English?
Uh, I don't practice English very much, but
Okay.
I I was studying in an English medium school, so there was no such thing as I needed to practice English. It came as a second nature to me. And but when I first joined Clapingo, as you said, the first session was really nerve-wracking. So if you watch video with Megha Nayak, I was very underconfident, very shy. But now if you watch my videos, I have gained a lot of confidence, taking so much criticism, understanding what mistakes I'm doing. And after I've taken more than around 140 sessions now. So after
Okay.
140 on Clapingo, a lot of sessions on English Yari, and I've done a lot of videos. So after so many interactions, I've become more mature when it comes to talking to people. And like I said, I still have a long way to go, and let's see where it takes me.
Yeah. I want to know that do you read books?
Yeah, I read books.
So I want to know that like do you actually believe that reading helps you to become a fluent speaker?
Yes, absolutely. You should read books, not just for becoming fluent in English, but to make your reading ability stronger. Because reading is one aspect where I feel everybody should improve. Because on a daily basis, you're reading each something or the other. So how fast you can read and understand the subject is really that matters in the real world, I feel. And
Yeah.
in this age of such low attention span, you need to read books so that it keeps you less distracted from the digital world and you can focus on one thing for at least a long period of time.
Yeah. Can you please mention top two books that you have read?
Uh, top two books, I top two books.
Yes.
Mm, there's a book by a very famous entrepreneur. If you have heard the name of Ashnir Grover, the
So
book's
I
name
don't
is,
have idea.
if
Yes.
you have no idea, so the book's name is Doglapan. So
Okay.
it basically means hypocrisy.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's such a, I think everybody should read this book because it's such a raw book. There is no sugarcoating. So it shows the true side of the startup world. Everybody wants to become a businessman, startup personality. So he has
Yes.
shown what the true struggles of it are. And it's a very raw book where, apart from the English, you will also learn the real struggles a person
Yeah.
goes while building a business.
So,
And
Miss,
the,
I tell you that it is like about a self-help book isn't it?
No, it's not a self-help book.
Then
If you want to read self-help books, then you can read a lot of people. Like there is Ankur Wariko, Sandeep Maheshwari. There are a lot of people out there. If you want to
it
read
is a
for
motivational, I guess. Like as you mentioned, these guys are like they are motivational speakers, right?
yes, absolutely, they are motivational speakers.
But self-help book is different, just like Atomic Habit and other books are also there, right?
Yes, Atomic Habits. If you are really into Western writing, so you should go for that. But I generally feel nowadays like I should go for Indian authors because I can relate with them more. So that's my thought process behind picking any book. And
Yeah.
when it comes to reading, I should recommend everybody to read anything or the other, like the newspaper, any text.
Sometimes we get bored of reading the same content, just like okay, reading the same book, and we do not get that much vocabulary and that much concept as well. So instead of reading only one book a week, we can also like as you mentioned that we can read articles as well, and also podcast. We need to listen to podcasts and different types of podcasts as well. Like there's a National Geography channel. You can follow that and you can watch a different kind of podcasts over there, and that is how you can gradually learn this language. More you listen, then more you will understand the language. If you do not understand the question, you will not answer that question. If you ask me something I didn't understand, how I will answer it, right? So first listening is important, and then that is how you can respond on that question.
Yes, absolutely, completely agree. If you don't understand the question, you won't be able to answer it in the first
Yeah.
place. And
Yes.
you also talked about you were describing reels when you used to watch it, right?
Hmm.
So I feel that one very big aspect of communication skills is your ability to describe things.
Yes. Yes.
In
Yeah.
life, sometimes you know what you are feeling, but you're not able to describe it to the other person. So what's the
Hmm.
point? If you don't have that communication skill, then it
Hmm.
stays with yourself, right? So I
Okay.
think this
Yeah.
is a very big point that communication skills gives a person is the ability to describe anything.
Hmm. Sometimes have you ever like encountered with the situation that you want to describe something, but because of lack of vocabulary, you are not able to express your thoughts, and you are end up like diverting that topic into something else. And instead of that, I must tell people that start to read novels. More you will read novels, so most of time they use some regular vocabulary, regular situation, and instead of like going for like heavy books, you can use very small books, just like a story books. These days I'm reading Sudhamuti ma'am book, Wise and Otherwise, small story book, and you can see that she describe incidents of her life, and there are very small stories. It is all for like 1 or 2 pages, so anyone can read it easily. So like each and everything as described in very simple way. Also, we do not need reading heavy vocabulary. And nowadays, what we think is that okay, if you are using heavy vocabulary, then you are a fluent speaker. What do you want to say on this? Do you
Yes.
do you think that if you are using heavy vocabulary and phrases and idioms, so you are like great person, you are fluent speaker, proficient speaker? Do you believe these concepts?
Uh, I'm in the middle. I don't believe it completely. I don't disagree with it also completely. I would say
Okay.
that having a good vocabulary bank is very important because you can't just go and describe everything in the full sentence, right? You need good words that can
Yeah.
complete the whole sentence. So
Yes.
if
Yes.
you are using good vocabulary, then it really enhances the speech and you come across as an attractive person.
Yeah. So what is your trick to learn vocabulary? Do you use that trick like five vocabulary in a day? Only five vocabulary in a day, and just you will that is how you will increase your vocabulary.
No, I don't recommend that, but it's good for new learners, like who are new in English, like the beginner people. I would recommend them
But
to.
they will not use that vocabulary. They will like make the dictionary by writing from anywhere, from different media. But if you observe that, like if you are just writing it, you are not using it in your conversation, so there is no point to writing it down on your notebooks, right? So instead of that, do not learn this. This is very full way of learning vocabulary. Instead of learn vocabulary through context. If you are reading any context, if you are reading any book, just understand the context, how that vocabulary has get structured and why they have used, and then you will not forget that forever. You will remember it forever. You will not forget it ever. So we can also like different people have different way of understanding, and they have different tricks, so they can use their strategy as well, right? Like if something is working for me, definitely it will not working for you, right? We need to use different strategy as well. So we are speaking for like more than hour, right? No, 30 minutes. So we'll
Okay.
wrap up this session as well. Yeah.
All right. I just wrap up on this topic itself that you said right now on vocabulary. So I would say that, like I talked about reading books. So the more you read, the vocabulary goes into your subconscious mind. Then you don't have to write it down and like consciously learn the new vocabulary. It goes on piling up in your mind, and then eventually, when you speak, it will come forward. So that was the main agenda behind reading. That you learn
Yeah,
new and
yeah.
new vocabulary. You learn to say the same thing in a different way.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
And
after
you were
after
saying
all
something. Yeah.
after all this, I would say that patience is very important because it's not going to come in one day, one
Mhm.
month, or even a year. I would say you have to, if you're working for a year, then you have to do it consistently. Otherwise, you won't get the rewards that you want. So I
Yes.
think
And
consistency is a
reading,
very
reading.
important.
You were saying something. Sorry for interrupting you. Yeah.
No worries. I was saying consistency is very important when it comes to doing anything.
Yes,
If you
yes.
have that consistency, then it becomes like a snowball effect where
Yeah.
in the later stages, the improvement will be so big that it would be even bigger than your imaginations.
Hmm.
Initially,
Actually,
you won't understand. But once
some
that
people.
habit comes, then you
Yeah.
become really unstoppable.
Some people are there. They actually think that they will learn English within a month, within a day, within a week. Okay. If they work and if they believe in it, okay, they will learn it, okay, no issue, no no doubt in it. But do you actually think that they will, if they just start to speak fluent English and they just stop to speak English, do you think that their consistency will stay there?
No, absolutely,
Definitely.
definitely no. The they won't be
Yes,
able to learn it, and when they
yes,
start it again, they would have to start it from the scratch. So it won't
yes.
be the same thing.
Even like non-native speaker like me and you as well, and many learners, they are fluent speaker, if they stop to speaking this language, definitely they will become zero. They need to start from
Yes.
scratch
Yes.
because of practice, because of lack of communication as well. And it is all about like practice. More you will practice, more you will like you are consistent in this language, more you will be fluent in this language. If you are not practicing, so your fluency flew away. Yes,
Yes, absolutely. And the more you practice, more you talk with people, you get to learn new words. Like here,
yes,
I used a word scratch. So some people will use the word zero. Some people will use the word bottom. So
yes.
this is how you will gain vocabulary over time.
Yeah, I used to think that we learn words from people, but if you are a good listener, then only you can learn it. Otherwise, we are only concentrating what we I am talking. We always focus on our message, and we give our best to convey our message. We are very bad listeners, I must say. Like if you want to become a fluent speaker, you must be a good listener as well, right?
Absolutely. There's a concept of active listening where you're listening to the other person as well as you're listening to yourself, what you want to say, how you want to frame your thoughts. So both combined will bring out the best person in you.
Yes, yes. I just want to know that, like, what do you do if you are unable to express your thought? How do you express and how do you manage your thought that time? And how do you prevent yourself from getting stumbled?
How do I prevent myself from stumbling? So
Yeah,
this is
stumbling. Yeah.
a good question because nobody's perfect. So you have to start somewhere. You have to start by doing mistakes. You have to start where people will laugh at you, people will judge you, people you will have that
Yes.
fear of doing this first step itself.
Yeah.
So you have to just do it. You have to just go on doing it. Because
Hmm.
unless and until you don't start it, if you think that, oh, people will laugh at me because I'm so stupid, then you won't be able to reach that place. You won't be able to come out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So when it comes to stumbling, you just have to practice more and more. You just have
Yes.
to try to make it better and better, and before you know it, you'll become better. That's the whole magic about the process. Like one day you will come up and you just see the journey behind you, and you will be like, oh my god, that day I was not able to speak even a single word, and today I am speaking flawlessly.
Yeah. That is the efforts that we put, like hard work paid off, right? Pay off or paid off?
Pays off.
Pays
Hard
off.
work
Yes.
pays off.
Yeah. Sometimes, like if you are making mistake, and if you are just if you are becoming uncomfortable to getting feedback from people, so it is a sign of that you are not ready to learn this language. I've seen people they only want good feedback, that okay, you are speaking amazing, you are speaking fluently, just give me it. So they are not comfortable while speaking and while getting feedbacks. It is very wrong. If you are getting feedbacks, so just work on that feedbacks. Yes. I just want to know that why your sentence formation are very like structured and you very well. I like observe your sentence formation are very good. How is it possible? And you mentioned that you do not practice regularly. So I'm quite shocked that okay, without practicing you can be a fluent speaker.
No, I did not mean that without practice you can be a fluent speaker. You have to focus on yourself, and you have to practice more and more. Like I said, you just have to go in that situation where it is uncomfortable. Like I said, talking to strangers was very uncomfortable for me. So I just did that in the first session, and then I started to take sessions more and more, went to online platforms, did more and
Yes.
more sessions. Then I understood how to behave in a certain situation, how to
Yes.
frame sentences, how to stay calm. I have a lot of thoughts. I have to structure it in a proper way. These are some of the things that I learned over time. It did not come in one day. If you go to my channel, it's you see more than 70 videos. So these are not the 70 sessions, but I would say more than 200, 300 sessions that I've taken.
Okay. Yeah.
After I took that decision that no, I want to improve my communication skills and my English. I want to take it to the next level.
Yeah. But sometimes it happens because you think that okay, you are speaking well, and but if you are speaking with beginner, but you and that person is of same level, or sometimes you are a good speaker than that beginner. So don't you think that it is so frustrating situation that that situation create? Okay, uh, the feedbacks that you don't get. If you are making mistakes, so that person don't care. That person only want to speak, and that one person only want the full learner. That time, how do you deal with that situation? Because you are not getting that match. Okay, I want to do practice, but I also want feedbacks. But you are not ready to pay. You are not ready to take sessions on paid platform. So how do you handle this situation?
I don't handle it because I never take sessions like this regularly because I don't get so much time. But I would
Okay.
say that you should try these paid sessions once, because you when you go to those platforms, you see people speaking better than you. Then you realize what your level is. Like
Hmm.
sitting at home, if you think that you're very good in English, I think you're in a delusion. You should go
Hmm.
out there, you should go on Clapingo, English Ari, you should see the speakers over there. And if you don't enter the field of criticism, I think there's no scope for growth.
But no, like the thing is that I'm asking about those people and who do not afford paid sessions, and they do not get feedbacks as well. Um, do you think that like speaking with like beginners helps you to become a fluent speaker, or you do not realize and you go away far from your goal that you want to reach out that place? Did you
I
understand what I say?
I, I understood what you said. People think that without paying also they can learn. I can think they can to a certain extent, but when you pay somebody, it is an obligation on them that they have to teach you something.
Hmm.
And on these
Yes.
platforms, the speakers are very well qualified, they are well trained, so they would be giving you
Yeah.
very genuine feedback. And that one
Yes.
feedback will literally change everything in your communication.
Hmm. So do you don't take like sessions with person on the Skype and other YouTubers, or you only take sessions with certified tutors?
So currently, I'm taking with the certified tutors, but in soon I would be starting sessions where I would be taking some classes if people want to learn from me, if they think that I'm capable of teaching them.
Okay, means it did means you are starting your own classes, something like that, isn't it? It is not an
Yes,
unpaid session, I guess, right?
yes,
Okay.
absolutely correct. I would start
Yes.
something like paid classes session where
Okay.
if
I consider you as a tutor, so give me feedback where I need to improve.
yes, I could you come again? I could not understand.
Like I think that okay, you are my tutor right now because you told me now that you are going to start your paid sessions. So consider I am your student, so give me feedback where I need to improve my communication skills.
I think you're doing really well. You have a positive mindset, and
Okay.
I think you just need a bit more of practice just to remove that MTI. You know what MTI is, right?
Mother tongue influence.
Yes. So you need more practice. You have to talk with native speakers. You have to watch a lot of native content, native English content, just to get that
Yeah.
English touch in your speech. Apart from that, everything is good, I guess.
Yeah, and
And
sentence
and
formation.
this one step is so cliche that you just have to practice. People think that no, there must be something else. But it is so simple and raw that if you just practice continuously for a very long time, you will become very good at it. And even
Yes.
you won't realize how good you have become. When you
Yeah.
go and watch your previous self, then you realize
Yes.
that's the
Yes.
whole magic of practicing.
I also want to know that, like, do you actually think that, like, if you want to be a fluent speaker, you must start your journaling or writing a diary? Does it help to become a fluent speaker?
Yes, it definitely improves your fluency. If you write down your thoughts, then it becomes more clear when you want to speak to the other person in a communication like this. If the more you journal, the more your thoughts become clear. In your mind, you're not confused what you want to say. And when you're
Yes.
writing down,
Hmm.
is the same thing that you would be speaking in a communication.
Hmm.
So once you're clear while you're writing, then that clarity comes
Because
in the
we
speech.
get time. Because we get time when you write, but you do not get time when you speak. Because continuously you need to focus what you are saying. You need to send your message as well. And because next person was asking you something, so we have some limits, time limit as well. And you need to send your message in particular duration as well, right? Because of that thought, do you believe in it?
Yes, that's why the more you journal, the more crisp your thoughts become. You don't just write long, lengthy essays. You write crisp and accurate things that you want to say on a particular subject.
Journaling is different and diary is different. Am I right?
I don't know about diary, but I think both of them are a bit same because journaling and diary in both you write things that you have done on a daily basis,
But
right?
plan, no, but what I know and what I have observe is that like journaling means they have already given you some prompts. You need to like write that prompts like okay, what are you going to do this day? What have you planned? What you have planned today? And like they have already prompts and you need to write all these like what you want to become in upcoming 5 years like that, so you need to write your goals and all. Ideas are so clear like as they mentioned that, but in diaries there is no direction. You write it whatever you think, because we think a lot, right? And uh, and everyone know that and I know that people more fluently speak in their mind, and when it comes to speak, so they not able to speak a single word because of the the way we think a lot, and our thoughts are so fast that we do not even get time to like send it, right?
Yes, I completely agree. Like we think
Yeah.
very fast, but we speak slowly. So sometimes
Yes.
our mind is not able to process what we are thinking and what we are seeing. So there is a little bit of lag, and that's why the communication is not clear to the other person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, we can wrap this session now. It is too late.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the session. You got something to learn. I hope I was able to
Yeah.
provide some value. And
Yes. Yes.
until then, let's meet next time.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Why not? Thank you so much for accepting my request.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no worries. If I thought that it's been such a long time, let's accept and let's see
Yes.
how it.
Yeah. Do you want to say
All right.
something? Yeah.
I just want to say good night, take care, and just keep working.
Yeah. Yeah. I will work, and I just want one genuine feedback that where I need to improve, like sentence formation. How is my sentence formation? You can also
Yes,
skip this part as well. Do you know editing, right?
yeah, I know a little bit of it. I don't know a lot. I know a little bit.
Okay, but yeah, but you can skip this part because I don't want you like put this part in your conversation. Like because you have already given me feedback, so you can keep that. But now, right now, I'm asking you, so you can tell me this feedback. Yes.
I can stop the recording.